Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this particular video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. I'm actually back from the village where I attended a funeral. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from. The county or the country in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga and the entire Azimio brigades are very happy. They are very happy because in Western Kenya, two events took place today. Number one, Musalia Mudavadi attended a funeral in Vihiga of one of the known businessmen there. If you paid very close attention to the speakers and the reaction from the crowd, it was clear that the audience were not with Musalia Mudavadi and his crew. Then Cleophas Malala, who is the UDA Secretary General, also attended another function somewhere in Western Kenya. The crowd literally forced him out of the podium when he tried to sell Kenya Kwanza. That incident, in my view, is significant politically speaking. So in this video, I want us to look at why Western Kenya is not buying into Kenya Kwanza or ANC Party or UDA Party as being sold by Musalia Mudavadi and Cleophas Malala. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get straight to the point and pay very close attention to the message which Malala was trying to pass out to the audience before he was ejected.
Yule mheshimiwa Gachagua hata akiteleza aje, Wakikuyu wako nyuma yake. Ninyi Waluhya mmeingia kiburi kwa kichwa jamani. Simameni na viongozi wenu. Asanteni sana. Yes. Asante
From that statement by Malala, he was literally trying to appeal to the residents of the Luhya Nation to support them. And he gave the example of the Kikuyu Nation, that even if Rigathi Gachagua is wrong, the Kikuyus will always be with them, with him. But unlike Western Kenya, where, they are not welcomed, hell broke loose at that particular point. What can we learn from that particular incident? For me, I have 6 lessons which I think is important for Azimio. Number one, it's clear that the appointment of Moses Masika Wetangula as the Speaker of the National Assembly and that of Musalia Mudavadi as the Chief Cabinet Secretary, their effect are not felt on the ground. So which means there's a disconnect between Mudavadi and Wetangula's appointment on the ground. The expectations, which most people have been waiting for, was that once Musalia Mudavadi was elected or was appointed as the Prime Cabinet Secretary, which made him the 3rd highest government official in the Republic of Kenya, and then Wetangula leading parliament, then it was expected that those appointments were going to excite the residents of the Western Kenya and that they were going to rally behind their sons and daughters. That is not happening. And because that's not happening, it's actually good news to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga would have wanted a situation which proved itself today, where Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula's appointment might not really carry any weight on the ground. And indeed, based on what happened today, they don't have effect on the ground. Number two, it is also clear that Kenya Kwanza leaders from Luyha Nation are actually being viewed as sellout or people who are bought. If you look at the reaction to Cleophas Malala, the residents are like, they don't care about what you're telling us. You know, because what you have is benefiting you, your family, and maybe your extended family, not us. For us, we are dealing with the basic issues on the ground here. So don't tell us, don't come here to educate us that we must rally behind these leaders. I'm saying this because Malala was the Secretary General of ANC Party. Currently, he's in UDA as Secretary General. Sorry, Malala was not the Secretary General of ANC. He was one of the key leaders in ANC Party. But now he's selling UDA Party. What can explain all that if not sellout? What about Mudavadi? What about Wetangula? So for me, Azimio should celebrate the fact that these leaders are being viewed down there as sellouts. Number 3, which is the most important of them, is that Azimio still remains the dominant party in the Luyha Nation. Earlier today, I did a video on this particular platform on formation, the dream team, which can make William Ruto one-term president. In that video, I explained what needed to be done. One of them is to secure Kambani and secure Western Kenya. How do you secure Western Kenya? Western Kenya, you ensure you have Mungoma, you have Kakamega, you have Vihiga, and you have Busia. The ground is proving that indeed Azimio still has the ground there. So the best thing Azimio team can do, if I were to advise them, was to move very fast and consolidate Western Kenya. For me, that's one of the most important things. And indeed, for those who follow this channel also very closely, a few days or weeks ago, on this particular platform, I opined that something was literally happening in the Republic. When I saw Charity Ngilu making a comeback to Raila Odinga, when I saw Fernandez Baraza making a comeback and making an announcement clearly that he is with Raila Amolo Odinga, I knew something was happening. So which means the ground favors Azimio, and that's why they were making those moves. In Western Kenya, today, if I were to run, I'd start thinking on how I can run on Azimio, because Kenya Kwanza is not selling well down there based on the reaction of the Luhya Nation to Cleophas Malala earlier today. So for me, that is one of the lessons, that Azimio is still a dominant party on the ground, despite the fact that Mudavadi was appointed Prime Cabinet Secretary, the fact that Wetangula was appointed the Speaker of the National Assembly. In fact, let me just add something here. In that formation which I was trying to give you guys about the Dream Team, I suggested that for Azimio to succeed in Western Kenya, they needed to have someone, either Wamalwa or Oparanya, either as a presidential candidate or as a running mate. By doing that, Mudavadi, Weta, and their crew will be sent to political oblivion. Number 4, it also shows that Kenya Kwanza's strategy for the Luhya Nation is literally not working. Because if it were working, the ground would have shifted a long time ago. How many times have you seen William Ruto going to Western Kenya? How many times have you seen Mudavadi going to Western Kenya? How many times have you seen them trying to Buster? How many times have you seen these guys trying to... How many times have you seen these guys trying to dismiss Azimio brigades? Several. But the people, the ground is still this side. So which means their strategy for Western Kenya. And their strategy was simple. In fact, William Ruto's strategy for Western Kenya was simple. Have Mudavadi, make him Prime Cabinet Secretary. By doing that, you have Vihiga, you have a bit of Kakamega, and you have Busia. Then have Weta as the Speaker of the National Assembly, then secure Bungoma. It means that strategy is not working for me. And someone was telling me that if you've been studying Ruto again, that Ruto is seemingly keen on Nyanza. I'll do another analysis on that, because he believes that Western Kenya's strategy is not working. He believes that if he can win Nyanza, then the effect can be felt across. Number 5 is that charity begins at home. That's another lesson for Malala. Because you can't go to Kisumu and lecture the people of Kisumu about UDA. You can't lecture the people of Siaya about UDA. When you are on backyard, you can't lecture. You know, the other day, Malala was like addressing some rally somewhere in Eldoret, and it was like, my first assignment is to go to Kisumu and paint it yellow. Charity begins at home. Cleophas Malala's home is Kakamega. That's where he should start with. But tell me, if I were to join, if I were to get interested in joining Kenya Kwanza, then Malala is there bragging and just stamping the way I saw him in Kisumu. The other time he was in Ukambani there. Then he goes now to his home county. Then he's chased like Burukenge. You see, politics is normally a perceptional game. Perceptionally, that incident alone is enough for people to reject Malala. And lastly, Kenya Kwanza failures. The truth of the matter is that in this country today, the situation of the economy is so bad. Kenyans are failing it. You promise them you are going to do them for this, you are not doing. When you get opportunity to talk to them, what you tell them is how Raila Odinga this, Raila Odinga that. In fact, today I was shocked that Musalia Mudavadi could actually go ahead and profile Kisumu. That Kisumu is one of the counties where investors cannot put their money. He's saying that while investors are rushing to put their money in Kisumu. So for me, Raila Odinga is a very happy man, and he must start figuring out how he can consolidate the Western Kenya voting bloc. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.